Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right. That'll work. All right, y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's April Lacey from Play It Safe. My nonprofit is Play It Safe Podcast. I'm with Pressure 23 Radio on iHeartRadio. Y'all tune in, tap in, tap in. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm going to let you know a little bit. Well, Brighton. I'm going to break it down to Brighton because it's a little city called Be Right On. We call that Brighton, Alabama. I'm going to give you a little breakdown on where I'm from. What I have a family that all went to jail in 2011. And that's going to be the topic of my discussion. We're going to go from my childhood to present. And then I'm going to show you, it's going to be, every time I say it's going to be Play It Safe. And then I'm going to tell you, you'll know why I chose Play It Safe. Because it's going to, let's see. I need to let you all know what it means. So, my Play It Safe nonprofit is to aid, educate, empower individuals who are currently or previously exposed to any type of drug abuse, mental health issues, and then even homeless. I started it back in 2018 with my grandmother, who's deceased now, Virginia Wright, her, my daughter, Aviana Lacey, and me. We all came together and made Play It Safe. So this is in memory of my loved ones as well. So I'm going to get together one day and try to get a safe house for everyone. So one day there will be a Play It safe house soon, coming soon. And I have a guest on side of me that you already seen on the flyer, but she has to introduce herself. And to the right of me, I have the lovely Kimberly Warren. Please introduce yourself, ma'am.
Yo. Hello, everybody. Hello. Like she said, most of you know, the ones that don't. My name is Kim. I guess the topic of the conversation is the time that me and my family, me and my friends, we did time in federal prison, which is never nothing to, brag on. So don't never sit up here and listen to this right here where I'm at and think it's uplifting that shit, because it's not. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? This is the after effects of some shit that happened 16 plus years ago. I'm a witness to it. And like she said, play it safe. I'm gonna throw it back at them.
All right. Y'all tapping in with us. We're tapping in. So let me go so I can break it down from you. Brighton is a little small town. We all from Brighton. It's a lot of us, and all of us know each other because we all in the same little neighborhood. And our poverty level is low. It's low in Brighton. So I grew up in a 1-bedroom house, and I had a great mom. Long live Sue Lacey. I have a great dad. They showed me how to make it as an only child. So I am an only child, which my cousins, all of my cousins, we all grew up as sisters and brothers. So if you hear me saying sisters and brothers, that's why. Because we all grew up. We all was taught to grow up off love and not money. That's what Virginia, Jenny Mae, AKA, taught us. We was together as love. So, long story short, I was in a 1-bedroom. Now everybody else might have had a bigger house, like great big mansions and everything, but I only had a 1-bedroom. But guess what? I had the best company. Everybody used to always come up there. And one of my best friends since 3 years old, I got in the building with me. She came and she played with me. Can you introduce yourself, ma'am, over there in that corner? What's your name? Your name is who?
Tamika Burrell.
It's been my friend since 3 years old. She's been my friend since 3 years old, so we call her Sandbox. So Sandbox know the struggle. And to begin the topic, It's called Started from the Bottom, Now I'm Here. We here. So that's why I wanted to discuss a little bit on the background. If you grew up poor, I wouldn't say rather poor because we had everything, because we had love, but we didn't have as much as others. We all grew up. We had to, when we spent the night with one another, we was all making pallets on the floor and in one room. I mean, everybody had to, but guess what? Our grandma fed the whole neighborhood. The whole neighborhood knew who Jenny Mae was. She fed everyone. It was never enough for Granny. She would feed anybody. Didn't matter. So my cousins, as I call brothers, one day they all got together and they were tired of being broke. I'm just gonna be real. And they came up with it. Everybody got together. They got together and came up with their own idea. It might have been wrong at the time, but it was quick money. So don't get the idea to go out there and get the quick money, because at the end of the day, he's a better person. All of them, not just he, all of them. This was Kimberly Warren. That's why I brought her on as my first guest, because she was the only female to go to jail with the men. And I wanted to bring her on today to get a first look at on how it went on her perspective, and being a mentor for everyone out here on how to play it safe and how not to get yourself in that situation. Even though the money is quick money, and I know you don't want to go to work and work what maybe get paid every Friday when you can get paid every 24 hours, but everything look good ain't good because it has penalties behind it. And Kimberly Warren, I had a few questions for her or whatever, because I had to get it together so I can be all professional and things. So I had to go and get up a little. I just need to know a little bit. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna hear me calling her Pookie. We have nicknames down here in Brighton. So yes, Kimberly Warren is also known as AKA Pookie. So if you hear me saying Pookie, that is why. So Pookie, I have a few questions for you, ma'am. Mm-hmm. First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful always, baby. That's the highly favored.
And that's what we need to know. That's what we need to know. So being the only female that went to jail on the 1239 Mac Vegas Green Giant, and you can Google that because it will come up. If you Google Green Giant 1239 McDonald Street, it will come up. It was known all over the world. She's going to give a little brief topic on it, on how she felt about the situation and how it made her a better person today. And she has so much more to offer to the world now that she has been to jail and changed her life. Pookie?
Well, I'm going to run it back a little further than 1239. And with the fellas, cousin, brothers, because the same way my cousins, my brothers. It started more so as we being kids, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't about money. It was just the place we was at, you know what I'm saying? And what it was doing at that time. We 80 baby, you got 70s and 80 baby. So at that time, drugs was a way of hanging, We hung on a block before 1239, 14, 15 years old. Me, I am a teen mom. I was 14 when I had my first son. So never thinking about money or flash or fast. I was thinking about surviving, taking care of that one child that I had conceived at the age of 14. So that put me around those same fellas that damn near 20 years later, we all got incarcerated together. We started out on one block, on one street, surviving. Not for fast money, but we had responsibilities. We had homes, we had houses, you know what I'm saying? We had kids at young ages, and just being the type of people that we are, there's nobody else's responsibility. The state couldn't take care of mine. I wasn't even old enough for an ID. So that was my way. And at the age of 31, I was indicted on a, indictment, 16 man, only female, did time in federal prison.
I just got to start right there. I got to get this. The only female that able to get right here, talk so professional. Yes, ma'am. I gotta give a round of applause for Miss Kimberly Warren because Miss Kimberly Warren is holding it down. Miss Kimberly Warren holding everything down. Yes, ma'am. I just had to stop and tell you play it safe and give you applause to that, ma'am, because I wanted to stop because I had to give her an applause. She said she was a young teen mom. It's hard being a young teen mom out here. So that's to motivate you all too. Just because you have a baby young doesn't mean that you can't make it. You see, she's still here. She raised them all, grown, and still made it, and have a positive outlook on everything. And like I said, she's gonna be a great mentor for us with our Play It Safe. And y'all got to. I had to interrupt her with that. I'm sorry. I just had
Look,
to.
she been I interrupt too many times. I'm an avid marijuana user, so we can't do that too many times. If we want to keep this thing pimping, we ain't gonna play. We gonna play it safe, but we gonna play it real always. You know what I'm saying? But back to the matter at hand. Hold on. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just saying. But just to keep it on momentum for real though. You know, people are getting misunderstood and they'll give bragging rights to some bullshit, you know, or they'll take that a person take honor in the way that things had to be in their life. I was an adopted child from a mother who took care of her mother. She was on a fixed income, so I did what I had to do. Ain't no begging and ain't no borrowing in my late father's voice, you know what I'm saying? So being that my mother, my father, my uncle, all these people's on drugs, it was very easy to do. And like I said, the brothers, the cousins, the people in the neighborhood, same thing, same situation. So that was just like a way of life for us. Nothing, never looking for fast money to buy anything, because it was to take care and keep the things that we had, you know, until that day came, you know, and everybody came home and, you know, situated themselves very well. We just had one to drop, you know, and everybody's home, you know, and that gets a round of applause. Everybody's free that day. I thought it would never end. You know what I'm saying? Them folks were giving out football numbers. But if we're gonna talk to the people, let's say this: selling drugs ain't never been cool, even then. Giving that shit to my mom and dad, and it was never cool. It was life. It was what was there in front of me. It was not a lot of choices. Wasn't no internet. Wasn't no all this old stuff y'all doing. I'm not used to it. I don't want to get used to it. So, you know, bear with me with all the technology and things, because like she said, in 2011, we left. So that was the beginning of all this. I'm glad I missed it, because it run to me. Some people, their personalities are bland. They don't know nothing but this. I hate that for them. That time I did, I was around thousands of people talking and learning and elevating myself, like she spoke on earlier, enhancing the person that I was, you know what I'm saying? Always to be better and better day by day. I always have been like that. I guess that's how I end up the girl in the indictment too, you know what I'm saying? Always looking for the most out of a situation, you know what I'm saying? Never pushing my responsibility on nobody else or blaming no one else for my consequences.
Yeah. So, with that being said, as her being the only female, I grew up like we all grew up. My cousins, I ain't gonna use all their names, but we all grew up in one room, and they showed us all love. And you know, one day I wanted to be able to return that favor. It wasn't nothing that my cousins did for us growing up. I mean, they'll look out now. They help me right now with my kids today. And I love when we all get together on our family gatherings and everything, and we stick together. So that's why I wanted to get out there and get this positive note. You know, everybody look at 1239 as, you know, it was a drug house. And yeah, it did go fast. It was quick, fast and stuff, but and it made us who we are today, because actually, you know, I ain't know how to sell drugs. I'm just gonna be for real. All I know how to do is just go get a job and just clock in and get a 9 to 5. So, you know, when the police came to me, I was like, oh, what's going on? And then, but at the end of the day, you know, I survived. But jail ain't for me, y'all. You can do a lot of things or whatever. I can be tough and all that, but when it was time to go to jail, I was like, oh, no, I couldn't take jail, y'all. So I was just so honored for my brothers, or whatever we're gonna call them, to, you know, stand up and take those big charges for their little sister. I love y'all guys for that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that other than they are 100. No matter what, they've always spread it out in the streets. My people are 100. I got on there just to say 1239 Mac Vegas boys, they are 100. And they did their time as they should. Yes. No snitching, as y'all said. Y'all, you know, I just had to get that out there too. Y'all said they were snitching. No, my folks did their time. Actually took time for a lot of other people too. So with that being said, you know, rumors, I'm telling you firsthand. So don't go by what you think you heard or this, that, and the third. I'm telling you what happened. They stood up and took up for their family and did their time and rolled it out. It wasn't no snitching. So all that other backlash that y'all coming with, it's not. Them people did what they were supposed to do. And guess what? In there, that made them a better person. So now, when they're out here now, they teaching you something. Y'all ain't doing that right now. That's why I'm really here today. I want to get with the youth. The youth, I definitely need the youth. Y'all pitiful. Y'all just pitiful. Play it safe, pitiful. Y'all are pitiful. And I got to say it like that because y'all think it's okay to just kill each other. No, you need to play it safe. And then y'all don't even know what y'all be beefing about. Y'all never know what y'all don't do nothing but hurt us as parents. As parents, we do not want to bury our kids. Never. But y'all go out here and just roll your money up your arm. Don't do that. I mean, it's cute because you got it, but guess what? The next person standing behind there looking for you to take it from you. And what's the purpose? That play it safe. You being dumb. You're being dumb. You got to be smarter than that. I want to educate y'all on quit being dumb. Quit being flashy. You ain't nobody got to know what's in your pocket. Let them guess sometime. You get what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff is just uncalled for. Y'all ain't playing it safe out here. Y'all being dummies. You got to play it safe out here, baby. Like one thing about it, two things for sure. I lost my mama. I was the only child. My mama ironed my clothes. My mama died in 2020. That was 6 years ago. I just learned today how to get together for myself. Because I ain't know how I was going to make it when my mama died. I promise I ain't know how. But my daughter, that's 27 now, that I'm gonna give applause to her, and she has a business. You know, go tap in on that Get Glazed by Avy. By the way, I'm throwing that in there. You Get Glazed by Avy. She can do it all. I throw that in there. But yes, she made her own business, and that is how she graduated. Cause mama didn't know what she was gonna do. I didn't know what to do, how, but I knew one thing. I knew I raised that girl good. That girl got herself through school. So that was a good part of me that showed. When she saw that our whole family went to jail, she went positive. She was like, it's something that I got to be able to do to be able to help my family in the long run. So that was something positive too. So every time you look, like a lot of our kids in our family are doing different things and stuff, but y'all just, it's the drugs. It's the drugs. And then I'm upset with a lot of things too. A lot of people that I've went to school with, I see them walking in the streets now. That's another reason for my play it safe. I don't like that. I would love to help them. I would love to get them somewhere to stay. I want to do something for them. It hurts my heart. It saddens me to see that they're on drugs and they can't take care of their kids. And I almost want to cry because it's wrong. It's definitely wrong when my people were selling the drugs, but at the time, it was like she said, it was for survival, and everybody has learned their lesson and stuff. But I just want to do the right thing moving forward, and I want everybody to, play it safe. My own people, mental health. Let me go to mental health. Let me jump into that too. Mental health. A lot of people don't want to get medicine, but y'all need it. Need it. Some of y'all need medicine. I'm here to tell you, if you sitting up there thinking every day that you need to beat and whoop on people, go get you some medicine. Because look, I'm being real. We talking, so I'm being real. If I'd have been on my medicine like years back, I probably want to beat some of y'all up like I did. But God is good, and I'm so glad for a change, and I'm dead serious. Like, I don't even care about y'all no more. God bless y'all. The Lord has blessed my heart. But y'all still need to play it safe. It's still that, but I don't care anymore. Like, And that's what I'm saying. So I'm not ashamed. I'm here telling the world that it's okay, and we didn't ask to be with mental health. People were born like that. That's come through heredity. So I don't want nobody out here thinking that people just want to be crazy. People don't want to be like that. That's heredity. That means it was passed down to them. It is okay to take medicine. Sometimes people seek help. And it's also okay if you're in a depression stage. Sometimes a lot of things go on with people, grief and everything, and it's no way to tell people how to grieve. You just have to, play it safe. But what you have to do with that is you have to get it out as well. You can't walk around and take it out on others. You have to cry, scream, and then once again, go get help. Speak to someone. Take medicine. A lot of people just hate that y'all want to abuse the wrong drugs. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all abusing the wrong drugs. Get some mental health. With the mental health issues and things, there are different classified drugs for ADHD, for schizophrenic. It's okay. It's okay that you like that. That's okay. You ain't asked to be like that, but you can make a change. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. Now, if you walking around here just playing and stuff like that, you need to play it safe, because it's really some crazy people out here really that take your head off. So don't do that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just letting y'all know from each perspective about the drug abuse, the mental health, the issues, the homelessness. If y'all got some people out there that need help, you know what I'm saying, and they are walking around, try to help them. And then sometimes some people, it could be family, but you can't overhelp your family either. We ain't gonna get on that either. But I'm just saying, because sometimes that's a problem too. Yeah, if you really want, don't get me started.
Don't do it.
Yeah, we not
don't
going to.
Do it.
But yeah, sometimes when you try to, you can't do everything. So you can only do so much. God forgive me, because I almost faded off.
Right, because I'm about to need a minute break.
Yeah.
I'm here 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, well.
How many more 15 we got? No, I'm just.
We need to take a break. You need to break.
No, you got it. You go.
You need to take a break, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
You sure? Because we can go on a commercial break.
I will hold the church finger up.
You want to hold it?
If I will.
You will hold the church finger up?
I'll give the church finger.
Okay, well, y'all just, play it safe when you're doing it.
No, I'm going to have a break. I'll do the church finger, but we shouldn't need one.
We shouldn't need one? All right. Well, we're back on the serious tip. I'm back. So let's be for real, though. Let me just so I told you the bad side. Let me give you a good side of my perspective, though. Let me be for real, because I joke a lot, too. Now, on the flip side of me, for real, with my Play It Safe, with my nonprofit, I did all that once again because I do want to help. Because, like I said, I had a lot of assault cases. I'm not proud of them, and no, I'm not smiling about I'm smiling that I've came forward and I became a better person. Now I'm a certified phlebotomist. I work for a great doctor, and then he's worldwide. I get to stick out of patients worldwide. The God blessed me to see fit for another chance, because being real, let's just talk about, I'm not ashamed. One time before, my mind wasn't right. And I had said, Lord Jesus, I had lost my job. And I said, Lord, I'm finna kill myself. Let me tell you something. Don't say them words unless you mean it. Play it safe. Man, them folks had me locked up in the basement, y'all. And that was not cool for like 2 days. But I thought about it when I had time to get down there and think about, because, I thought I had lost out because I didn't have a job, and I felt like I was failing my kids, being a single mom and everything or whatever. But like I said, God seen fit for me to make it out. I'm not ashamed about nothing that happened. It brought me to the person who I am today. So that's why I joke a lot, but I take things serious too, because people do walk around and feel some type of way. Sometimes but it's always a phone call. Pick up the phone sometime. It don't matter what time of night. I tell people, I be up at 3:00 anyway. Call me. It's okay. I would take that time to listen to people. If I felt like I'm saving a life, I most definitely will pick the phone up and talk to anyone. So I'm just putting it out there.
I think the sound is off. Do a sound check.
All right.
Okay, somebody just take.
No sound? We'll be back. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, Muffin was saying everybody was saying they couldn't hear, so I don't know where they look at what platform.
Well, I'm sorry if y'all didn't hear. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, but we're still live on Pressure 23 radio on Heart Radio. I'm sorry for the inconvenience if you didn't hear me, but once again, I'm like, and Pookie is like, I want to just, I got a few more questions for Pookie while she's here. Like, she always motivate me. Like, I wake up sometime, and you know how you need somebody to call, to talk, and one thing about it, I pray for everybody. I even pray for my enemies. Even though I don't like y'all, I pray for y'all too, or whatever. Sometimes I take some of my prayers back because some of y'all don't deserve them, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, because the Lord know my heart. But at the same time, like Pookie, it's like I've lost a lot of loved ones, like back to back to back to back. And with that being said, like some of those people were people that was my motivational people to help me move on. And I also have good friends like Keisha Brown, that's always a motivational person. So I have Keisha Brown, my friend Tamika Burrell, and then I have Kimberly Warren that I always call every morning if I can get a positive prayer out of her. So I always call and ask her about how should I feel about certain things and stuff, and she always comes with great advice. So with that being said, ma'am, can you tell the women out here what would be like one or two things that you would want to throw out there to give them some type of motivation every day to make them want to, being a teen parent, being a young teen parent, went to jail, being the only female going to jail, you made it out. What type of advice would you give some of them that think it's okay to sell the drugs, even though they scared of jail? Me. But
well, it's been 16 years. So I'm gonna go back to this era here. Now in this time here in the late 20s, like I said, that was back 16 years ago when that sentence was. In this millennium, the drugs that they sell is killing y'all. It's really nothing to say but be wise. You know what I'm saying? I guess I would tell them to make good choices, Start with your C. See what's gonna happen. Are you gonna die if you take this pill? Are you gonna go to jail if you sell this fentanyl? Just think about that. Think about their kids. The drugs are dangerous. Now, I can't even talk about the drugs now. I don't know nothing about them, to be honest with you. But I know as society, us as a whole, leaving drugs out, just speaking on people, we definitely need to be wise. I would say that to everyone.
See what I'm saying? You see how they just come out just so, you wouldn't have thought that girl been no jail, now would you? That girl speaks so educated, man. Come on, girl. You just talk that thing. I mean, I just coming from in our little city of Brighton.
Well, I was where Martha Stewart and the women off of Wall Street was doing sunset yoga. Now I ain't go to the state penitentiary. Don't get them fucked up, baby. It was a nice little bed. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, that's my past. My personality, me as a person, I don't live behind. When she asked me to do it, I didn't mind because I wanted to help her to set the tone for her, what she's doing. I didn't mind. I'm always willing to be a person to lend out. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is. So today it was my time. A little bit of my testimony again, over 16 years. Before then, great choices. You know what I'm saying? I chose purposely to do what I done. You know what I'm saying? From 14 to 31, I knew exactly what I done. I didn't feel no type of way about it. When the consequence came, when that C came, I accepted. You know what I'm saying? And not adding nobody in and not taking nobody out. God is always good. I didn't even get what I deserved, to be honest with you. They had the shit all backwards. I still hear it backwards. I hear it backwards today. I'm going to let it ride like it ride. That shit was 16 years ago. But just kids today, people today, is more dangerous than it was back then. I don't even be out here. Drugs, pills, all the doctors went to jail. Now we can talk about that. In 2011, when we went, a lot of your doctors went too. A lot of your educated people went too, and that's why they're not giving pills out today. Most of the pills they're getting are pressed and fentanyl because those doctors are not writing people pills like they were back then.
Oh wow! So
You know
that's what they.
I'm
So they
saying?
done cut
So
that out.
that's
They
why
done messed
every
that
other
up.
day people are dying. So the doctors who were trying to take care of their family
Right.
or whatever they scratch was to put them in that arena to make those choices that landed them in federal prison.
Yeah.
Plenty of doctors went to jail.
So
During that time with us in our indictment, pharmacists went to jail.
Oh,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying? A lot of people, it wasn't, jail is not labeled by a criteria of people. It's by choices. It's not educated. Like I said, I was in there with Martha Stewart and the people I watched. Those are very smart, educated people
Right,
who
right.
made a conscious choice to take that money. You know
You was
what
in
I'm
there with
saying?
Martha Stewart, girl.
So the people, no, she had just left. She just left, but yeah, Camp Cupcake, yeah.
Okay.
But the people who were on her case, it was plenty of people like our case, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Most times the Fed get you, they don't get one, they get many and plenty. So don't y'all forget that either. But
I have a question. So that what about that morning? The morning that they came to actually pick you up to take you away? Like, can you describe like how they felt? Like where was you when they came and got you? And how did that feel? When
like I said, we was on the phone. I was on the phone. I knew they were out because they was at all of us at one time.
Right.
So we was all on the phone calling back and forth, trying to see who they was getting and what they was doing. So again, I had kind of already accepted it at the door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you already knew they was on the way to get you when they was
pretty much. I didn't know they were coming at me, but I knew they were in town. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I looked out my back door and they were out there.
Yeah, because they were coming for me. They were coming for me too, y'all. But I was so glad I was pregnant too. Lord, my water was finna break, Jesus. They pulled us over on side the road, y'all, you hear me? And rode in the car with us. Man, I had never in the car with us. I ain't know what to do. I said, what I did, Lord. I said, I don't do nothing but 85, sir. He was like, what? Them folks was, hey, look. When we got to their house, I saw things on TV like this. But when we got to their house, everybody was standing around their house with like little statues with the little guns pointed at the house. They ain't even talking then. They wouldn't even talk to us. They ain't say nothing to us or whatever. And they were just all surrounded by the house. I really thought I was on TV. And then when we went to court, I went to all the court cases because I really wanted to know what happened and how everybody went to jail, and it was on wiretap. They was wiretap, so it was communication. So with that being said, like on your communication level, on any way, y'all, you need to learn how to communicate. Whether it's talking on the phone, communicating with a person. The topic for today will be, before I get off of here, it's going to be communication, and y'all take that with y'all. Please remember how you deliver and communicate with someone. Communication is a big thing. You can get a lot of people to do different things by the way you communicate with them. Like if you want to get things done in life, it's definitely a way to communicate. You don't holler at no one and expect anything to get done. If you want something done, you need to be able to deliver things the correct way. You can't. Us as people have to really do that better with their delivery. Like an example, like you're not gonna say, "Go in there, go throw that away." That's just not how you do it. Like you could just actually ask somebody to do it and take their time, and then things are better. So with that being said, just play it safe on how you all communicate with one another. Like each day, Like, it doesn't matter. Like, and then I pray every patient I get at work, I pray for them. I pray for every patient. It never hurts to pray for a patient or anything. So I want you all to like take that with you. Like, us as females, you know, they don't care about killing females either. So with that being said, they don't care about killing females. They leaving babies out here with no mothers, no fathers. So you need to be mindful on which way you all communicate in your train of thinking. All right. So
Okay, April, I don't want to interrupt you, but I do have a question for Kimberly. Kimberly, you stated that you accepted everything and you knew what was going to happen, so you just sat down and did your time. However, out of the whole situation, what was one of your biggest regrets?
My kid.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Shit, I'm spoiled, they spoiled. We was all we knew. But I never lied to them about nothing. I never hid nothing from them. Like I said, mother, father on drugs. I never, painted no picture for them. Son did chemical engineering. They still had their own mind and personality. But I've been able to talk, been able to speak what I feel or how I felt. You know what I'm saying? So just communicated with them from that day on. My daughter looked at me that day. Her birthday was the next day and said, "Oh, my birthday's tomorrow. I'll set something up for you." You know what I'm saying? They kind of believed in me enough to where they missed me, of course, but we made it,
So you went the day before your daughter's birthday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that would be the only regret.
You almost made me cry.
Don't do it.
I ain't know that. Like, some stuff I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not real vocal. Like I said, I leave the past where it be and definitely things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak on
Yeah, you're right.
It would come up.
Okay. So with that, the time you spent away from your kids, you just elaborated on how you were able to still do things and communicate with them. So everyone has a home plan. So what was one of the key aspects of your home plan? And as that home plan, the things that you had in your home plan, what from those things have you accomplished or done today?
Staying criminal activity free. I'm a free spirited person, so I'm not real big on that. You know what I'm saying? I have always lived doing what I want. So entitlement was a big thing that I struggled with in my life. You got to hear the story from 14 to 31. I ain't listened to nobody.
Oh.
So I just knew that I would make it. My passion for people, I've been certified CNA 24 years. So just go do what I know, you know what I'm saying, and provide for my family.
And even through all that, you was still with your certification, you got out it while you was there?
It ain't what you know, it's who you know. And like you said, communication is everything. You treat people right, life will treat you right. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I work under it now.
Okay. Hey. All right. Well, that'll. Oh yeah. She wants you to.
Yeah. I can hear you.
You're scrub.
Scrubs.
Oh yeah. Like we were saying, like I was saying, 24 years in that field. That's been so long, not to add that to this, but y'all look out for this brand, Grace and Pressure and Grace, Scrub brand, Scrub Life. Anybody that put on a scrub, whether it be your dentist, your baby's daycare teacher, a CNA, a nurse, a phlebotomist, or whomever, they must show grace in the job that they do. You got to trust and believe in them. So y'all be looking out for that scrub line, Pressure and Grace.
See that? You see, this the biggest, the ex-con drug dealer, smartest girl that I know. Come on, that come through. Come on through. You see what I'm saying? It ain't about what you know, it's who you know, and you can always become a better person. You see that? So just because you down don't mean you'll never be up. That's all we saying. You got to just out here and play it safe. That's all. Remember, play it safe when it comes to.
You better not never go down. You better always stay up because they'll step on you. That one thing we not doing. We ain't going down. You keep prayer first. That's right. Keep your mind You keep your confidence. You know what you're going at. Don't let nobody else time dictate your success and your progress. We're gonna say that, and we're gonna leave it right there. I've never been a criminal. I provided for my family. I've never stole. I've never actually got caught with drugs. If we want to be technical about anything, I've never, in 46 years, been caught with any drugs. Never. I've never been caught with any drugs. None. And I had 2 federal cases, and both times they lied on me.
They lied on.
And the second time, I was glad they lied on me, because if they didn't, I probably been just getting out. But we gonna leave it there. I had to go back there to put the 5 fingers up if I need. I ain't know what all this paper was, but I already put 5 fingers up, plead the 5th, invoke my rights. Cause like she said, I'm an educated criminal. I know not to get up here talking about none of this shit.
Yeah.
But hey,
that's right. Play it safe. Remember, I
you hear me?
Play it safe. Not too much, just enough.
Forever.
Just not too much, just enough. All right.
Always.
All right. All right, y'all. And I
You
really
want to say nothing to me? Be real.
Oh,
Add me some. Be real. Come with it.
If you could do it all over again, what would you change what would you think that if y'all could change something to make it a better outlook, what you think that would, I know that April said that it's the communication thing, but what do you think it was that kind of, what would you change to maybe where y'all would end up in those same circumstances?
Well, like I said, it didn't start at that spot. This was something we had been doing over 2 decades. It was time for a change. It was time for it to end. My first day in the county, I didn't cry. I laid on my top bunk and I read the Old Testament.
been a thug.
You know what I'm saying? I read the Old Testament and I seen my family being broke down in the words of Scripture. So I look at things way different than people do. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought of changing anything. I think the era that we was in, because like I said, we talking about the early 2000s.
Yeah.
When most people were doing it. Now, you couldn't get those fellas to touch that shit. You know what I'm saying? Those people are working men and been working over 5 and 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if they'll have a conversation about it because it's a past life, you know. But me personally, I probably would have stayed in school. And I'm gonna tell y'all young people that I'm in school now for LP. I just went back to go with my scrubs because, you know, I'm a bona fide hustler and I'm certified smart. So never, like I said, never let nobody dictate what you do. Never.
Because it never stops when it comes down to
And I want to introduce something. I lost my son, some of you may know. Mm-hmm. And I look and I listen to a lot of things, and, you know, she wanted to say something about communication, and I wanted to say something about empathy and sympathy. Y'all got to sympathize with these people. It's people out here without their parents. It's kids out here without mamas and daddies. It's mothers that have lost their kids. You know, y'all got to show a little bit more sympathy and empathy in order for to soften the heart and push love out.
Oh. See what I'm saying? You deep, girl. You deep. You be taking me there sometime. I mean,
also, I want to say one thing about the situation that you guys was in, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just be honest with the world. Since you're on the interview, there's really no rehabilitation for the dealer, but selling drugs is an addiction just as well as taking them as well, because most drug dealers, they take chances. If you don't have it in your neighborhood, you may have to go to Birmingham. I know you say y'all from Bright. You may have to leave outside of your little comfort zone, go to Bessemer, go to Midfield or something like that sometime to do what you have to do. I'm not saying that was the case, but just like people that's on drugs, sometimes as a dealer, you take chances in order to keep doing what you need to do, whether you go to Atlanta, New York, California. So when it all boils down, it's more of an addiction too. So technically, I want to applaud you for rehabilitating yourself because there's really no rehabilitation for the dealer. You get what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
You know, they handle the dealers almost worse than murderers and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really give a true dealer rehabilitation. They, you know, they want to talk to you and put you in these classes where you have to take drug courses and this and that. But the courses that you're taking, unless you're really on drugs, but even if you're on drugs and you're there for selling drugs, is there really rehabilitation for the dealer?
It's not. It's a choice to like it was to start. But I will say this: I took a program in the Feds, RDAP, and I think a lot of people do. They need to put it out in 9th grade for everybody to take.
What is it called?
RDAP. It's a program, and it was nothing about drugs. It's a 9-month intense program that kind of brought you back from childhood to birth to see why do you make the choices that you make. It's identifying feelings and why you do the things you do. Love is a trigger for me. You know, it helps you to find triggers and why, because I love my kids, like you said, I go from Maine to Spain with that pack, you know, or whatever I needed to do besides sell my body. I'm not fast and I'm not flirty. You know what I'm saying? So that was my choice to make. Once I turned, like I told my kids, once I turned 18, 17, I could have did something different than I did. I went and got certified. But again, my entitlement issues and my personality and still being so young, I wasn't making good choices. And I can admit that. I can even admit it then. So that's why I was willing to do what I did to the extent that it ended.
So can I just ask you or kind of say one more thing? You know, why I say it's an addiction, right? You did all those things. You wasn't just selling in 9 to 5 all the time. You was also a model citizen, actually going on a job and clocking in and doing the right thing.
I was doing all of it.
But your other life, your alter ego kind of took more control over, you know, like we got to learn as people, whether you black or white, I'm talking about people, you need to stop
in general
while you are ahead. I'm not saying that glorifying selling drugs because you're here now saying that you're not glorifying it, but sometimes it should be just for what it may possibly be to help you when you're down and out. But once you get better, you know, or get on your feet or like how once you start working and got certified, you know, had you maybe stopped, you wouldn't have probably been indicted on those situations. Because I know a lot of people that do the whole enchilada just like yourself. So I applaud you for not just doing just that. Because let's just be clear, you was paying taxes, you was working, but also on the other end, man, just working don't really get us where we want to go, especially if we know that we want a little bit of everything and we want to live a certain way and maintain a certain way. But we as Black people, most importantly, we got to learn an exit strategy. We got to learn when to exit before things get bad.
Is it that,
you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like everybody want to be greedy? Like,
I ain't gonna say greedy. That's why I say it's an addiction, because once you get addicted, you don't know how to stop. It's like anything else, but they give you rehabilitation, not for drugs, for eating disorders, for eating too much, for all of these different things, but there's no rehabilitation for your addiction and the addiction that a lot of people have. You know what I'm saying? And that's selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? There's no real you know, rehabilitation for that.
But you know what's sad? Just to come to say that, you know what's the sad part about it, just being real? Like, even selling drugs, you said it's an addiction. Like with mental health, it's like an addiction with mental health too. Like sometimes you really, it really be like that. You really think you're gonna beat everybody up. You get what I'm saying? Like all the time, it just be in your head. Like you just I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So I'm saying that also to say that you coming along, I'm glad that I've came a long way myself on playing it safe myself, because I did things that weren't right either. And they weren't just about selling no drugs, because I ain't know how to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to beat on everybody, but that wasn't never the right issue. You get what I'm saying? Like every time somebody used to bother me, they used to bother me.
So you were more like an enforcer then. You weren't really the person. You was I'm just saying she already said you know, like a you know, I know people that know how to do that, which is make money real great, but guess what? They don't know how to really protect themselves.
Yeah, I feel bad. I ain't gonna lie. I feel bad about it.
Was kind of like an enforcer.
No, I feel bad. People like I want to say that like bro, I took a lot of grief with me. I'm gonna just say that like a lot of my hurt and stuff was out for pain and grief. A lot of my people was locked up. I was angry. A lot of people died. You know what I'm saying? And so you know how you don't know how to show your emotions or show your love or something, and then you kind of sometimes it wasn't even all about that. Like some people just come at the wrong moment. You get what I'm saying? Like my mind be on a whole nother thing, and then somebody get to bother me, and I just overdo it. But I do know that I know about the consequences.
So what made you better and what made you stop? I'm gonna ask you a question then. So what made you better and what made you, I ain't gonna say stop, but what made you be able to channel your anger a little better? You just got a little older, a little wiser?
No,
or
let me tell you.
Was it like some type of counseling you went through, or what was
my children? It got sad to me when my kids had to come telling me, Mama, what is you doing? Now, when you got your children, it put advice and give you advice on how you acting and stuff. That means you got to sit down and reevaluate. So I had to go reevaluate myself for my kids because they was just like, Mama, what's wrong with you? You just losing out. Didn't know that I was just lashing out, just so angry. So my kids is the one who had to talk to me to let me know, hey, that ain't the right thing. So, you know, I appreciate them too because they got me where I am today.
So I have one more question for Kimberly.
Mm-hmm.
So in certain situations, I'm not saying that this is the situation you were in. So in certain situations, a lot of people are put in these situations due to other people not being able to handle the consequences that come behind their actions. So I'm trying to see how to put this. When cases happen, a lot of time, 90% of the cases are because someone else told on someone else. So with you coming home or something like that, and this could have happened or it may not have happened, forgiveness. In order for you to still be here today and, you know, to be free, you had to, you know, learn a certain level how to forgive. So when did you adapt to the situation that you have to forgive people that actually hurt you? Because sending someone to jail is one of the most hurtful things that you can do to a person besides killing them, because you're taking that person from the people that they love the most. So when did you get to the perspective like, I gotta forgive and just let this go, especially if you had to see these people every day?
Like I said, I went in with the Bible. I never let it go. I learned some truths. I learned some things about two gods. You know, the one that I was serving, which was the one I made up to be for me, that let me get away all the time, that let me have my way all the time. And then I met the real one that came with discipline and structure and correction. You know what I'm saying? So in reading that Bible, even before I got to prison, in my 10 county months, I had released all that out of my heart because I had to pray for my kids in order for them to be watched. And I couldn't, nothing but me believing what I was saying to be true and me believing what I was reading to be true. I couldn't hold no kind of hate in my heart for nobody. So within that 10 months in the county.
Oh, wow. 10 months?
Yeah. It probably didn't take that long. He was working on me. He was working on me quickly.
So I think that if I probably would have went to jail, it probably would have worked in 24 hours because I ain't good for jail. But in actuality, I'm just getting better.
I would say the same thing for me because before that, I had never been in trouble, very spoiled. You know, like I said, never heard, never had, nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? Like real nigga shit. Like nothing, and these people showed up.
So don't you kind of feel like that was unfair? Like that was like
14 to 31. I can't act like that. that would have hurt my heart, and I never would have been able to forgive because I wouldn't been truthful. If I lied to myself, I couldn't forgive me and them.
Okay.
But to come back to your question, it wasn't for a certain lifestyle. By 17, I had two. Again, my mother was taking care of her mother on a fixed income. I had to take care of me and mama now. So it was never about none of that. You know what I'm saying? And it just, days went to nights and nights went to years.
Girl, you deep. Be taking me down. That's why.
I'm almost 50.
You look good to be almost 50. That's what you say. We 45. We 45.
46. 46.
46. Oh, you
Yeah.
46.
1980. 423.
So how old were you when you went?
31.
You were 31 and you
Over 16 years.
How long did you have to do?
I did 3 years and 10 months.
You
On
are
a 51-month sentence.
You're a strong girl. Like, I promise I wouldn't have made it. Like, that's why I look up to you. I do. I look up to any female. I look up to any female that made it because my mind structure ain't built like that.
You think that you would have adapted? I
No, I
promise.
promise.
One thing about if you who you say you are, you would have adapted.
I can't hardly breathe.
I had
in
a few
elevators.
fits. I made the Coleman County give me cupcakes. Like I said, extraordinary person do extraordinary things. I was in Coleman County with the worst. I looked at girls throw up and have seizures, and repented with them and asked for forgiveness through them. You know what I'm saying? So working all that out, God just show favor and little things that make you happy. So you would have made it if you would have stayed connected. Because again, my first birthday, I had cupcakes in Coleman County. Like, for real.
Okay, one last question for the both of you. If you had any piece of advice you could give anyone outside of that's listening on the radio, on all of the social media platforms, what would that piece of advice be?
Stay focused. Put God first. Think about you. Learn you. If it got to be one thing, learn you, deal with you.
Mine would be accept instead of exception. I need people to take more accountability. That's what it be. More accountability. Yeah, like when you know you're wrong and when you know the situation is wrong, go ahead and make that accountability. Go ahead and you know it's wrong, just stop and just tell the truth. And you know what I'm saying? Quit lying because you know it don't be right. So go ahead and take accountability for more things that you should. That's it. Because I'm glad that I didn't used to take accountability, so I am proud of myself for taking accountability now. And I have learned a lot from my past. My past brought me to who I am today. I am a better person. I didn't like who I used to be, but I love who I'm becoming now. And that's why I want to be able to spread that love. I want to repay my family back for whatever they did for me. I never have enough love. It ain't, like I said, it's not about money. It's just, I want to love to get together and see them. I got so many memories with them. And I want to just keep making memories with my family, like happy memories, because it's always sad things. So with that being said, I hope that my folks in heaven are proud of me. And once again, I lost a lot of loved ones, and you know, I wore his pen today. Long live Bray Bray. I definitely wasn't gonna forget you. I was gonna throw you in there at the end. We got them in here. Our family members. We play it safe. And God bless. And I'm sending a prayer out for everyone tonight that needs one, whether you're grieving, whether you don't know if you're going to lose your mind. I'm going to pray for your mind. I'm going to pray for you financial. Just pray. I mean, I'm just sending out the prayers for you all because that is what the Lord sent me here to do. I do send out prayers and I do pray for people. I even pray for people that I don't like. And I can't help but to be honest. I do, and sometimes I do want to take them back, but God said it ain't right. So, and I took that accountability again. So with that being said, y'all just play it safe and y'all have a blessed night.